Lights, prompter, go! There's no greater detective than Sherlock Holmes. With just the powers of his mind, there's no mystery he can't figure out. Plus, he's got a really friggin' sweet pipe. Want to learn how to solve crimes just like him? I can tell you how. This is Epic How To. Solve a murder like Sherlock Holmes. Before you begin solving a murder, you need to start thinking like Sherlock Holmes. If you really want to think like Sherlock Holmes, the first step is to really want to think like Sherlock Holmes. According to Maria Konnikova, author of the book Mastermind, How to Think Like, you guessed it, Sherlock Holmes, you need the motivation to change the way your brain processes the world. Yes, simply wanting to be good at something makes you perform better. Studies have found that students who were interested and motivated in math got better grades than students who weren't, even though the motivated students had lower IQ scores. Next, you're going to need to develop the powers of observation. What makes Sherlock Holmes such a great detective is his ability to notice details that others miss. And people can miss a lot. In a study done by Harvard psychologists Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabris, participants were shown a basketball game and asked to count the number of passes. In the video, a person dressed in a gorilla costume walked onto the court. Simons and Chabris found that 50% of the participants were so preoccupied counting passes that they didn't even see the gorilla at all. If you want to get better at observation, you're going to need to consciously slow down your thinking. Start by challenging yourself to notice one new detail a day, like the color of your coworker's shirt, blue, or the license plate number of the car parked next to yours. Over time, this kind of observation will become second nature and you won't miss any gorilla-sized pieces of evidence. You're also going to want to start taking notes. During the day, write down detailed descriptions of your surroundings. This will start training your brain to take in everything. Daily meditation will also help. It doesn't have to be long, even just a few minutes of meditation a day will improve your observation. Now, to solve a murder, you're going to need to improve your deductive reasoning, your ability to logically infer a solution based on information available. Board games, brain teasers, and other logic puzzles have all been proven to help your deductive reasoning. Reading books helps too. If you don't have a library card, get one and join a book club. Talking about a book with friends will force your brain to think critically and analytically. Plus, you'll probably drink a lot of sweet-ass wine with all those catty neighbor ladies of yours. You might think your brain can't remember all those details that Sherlock Holmes does because you were just born with a bad memory. But don't despair, you can improve your memory too. The trick is to make mental connections relating new information with things you already know. Experts call this radiant thinking. Radiant thinking is a mind map in your brain associating and connecting two independent ideas with one another, making them easier to remember. To get better at this, it's helpful to start making actual mind maps. Start by writing down a random word on a piece of paper, like dog, and then write down all the mental associations you have with that word, like bone, pet, best friend, and then draw a line connecting the original word and each association. The better you get at thinking in terms of logical associations, the better you'll be at solving crimes. You're also going to get better at logical reasoning the more you know in general. Sherlock Holmes was extremely knowledgeable, so you need to learn as much as you can about a wide range of subjects like science, art, math, religion, and everything else under the sun. Take a class at a local community college, or pick up an instrument and learn how to play it, or try to learn a new language. Great, now that you're thinking like Sherlock Holmes, this is how you'd go about actually solving a murder. First, after stumbling across the murder scene, you're going to want to begin your investigation by finding anyone in the immediate vicinity and ask them as many questions as possible. The name of the victim, the last time they saw the victim alive, where they work, and so on and so forth. Every bit of information, no matter how mundane, is useful. According to police officers, information from potential witnesses is one of the most important pieces of evidence in solving a murder. And you're also going to want to look for physical evidence. Footprints are extremely useful, as they can match up exactly to the shoes the murderer wore. Duh. Any other little object like keys, a wallet, or a piece of gum can be useful as well. Fingerprints and DNA evidence could also be on literally anything. Next, you're going to want to talk to potential suspects. You're going to want to start with the victim's friends and family. According to Kyle Smith, Deputy Director of the Kansas Bureau of Investigation, most murders are crimes of passion, happening spur of the moment due to a fit of anger. And most victims know their killer. To find your suspects, Google and social media are your best friends. Then, you're going to want to interview the suspects. If someone is a difficult interviewee or you think they're lying to you, you can watch for cues in their body language. Liars tend to raise their tone of voice, blink less, touch their nose or face, use less contractions in their sentences, and experience dilated pupils. Eye contact can also tip off a liar. While you might think that someone who's lying would avoid eye contact, most liars actually overcompensate by holding eye contact for longer than normal. Another technique you can use is asking a lot of mundane questions first, like, what time is it? When's your birthday? And so on. Then you ask a really leading question like, hey, are you the murderer? This will throw off a lot of guilty people, making them nervous. With any luck, you'll catch your suspect lying and solve the case. Hopefully he doesn't murder you. That would suck. And there you go. You're solving murders left and right, Sherlock Holmes style. You might want to think about a career in law enforcement, unless you want to keep doing it for free, which would be dumb. Even Sherlock Holmes has to make a living by making money and repeating the cycle and living in our capitalistic societies. This has been Epic How To. Let us know what topic you guys think we should break down next in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe.